Happy Friday evening, gang. Yeah, I know this is not an important video or anything like that, but it's timely. Let's give you that one. Uh, Today is the big day that the movie Civil War comes out. Don't waste your money. I'm telling you, okay? You'd be better off going to spend the money on renting the uh, Blue Lagoon Brooke Shields movie, one of the other worst movies ever. It's actually better than this. No, I did not go to a theater and pay for this. There is no freaking way I would. Okay. Uh, Mrs. P watched the movie yesterday in Russian, and then we found a pirate on the internet today where somebody who knows, probably in India or something like that, filmed the movie in a theater there somewhere and showed it. So we watched it this afternoon, putting up solar panels. Then, of course, we had a thunderstorm roll through, so we had a couple hours to sit there and wait for the rain to do it. And so she found the movie. I said, okay, while we're waiting, let's sit and watch. And so we watched this movie, and within the first couple of minutes, you could tell this was complete garbage. I'm not going to get into the political aspect of it. The producers keep saying that it's an apolitical movie, that it's not left or right. Okay, we'll give them that, even though there's some left leaning underlying things. The movie has some really stupid stuff in it. The very beginning, within the first 5 minutes, you see a vehicle that is the Department of Environmental Protection. And then I forget exactly what it said on the back of the NYPD squad car, but if you look, it's the CPR, as they had, the three initials on there. Just ridiculous, and off the top of my head, I can't remember it. But so as we're watching the movie, there's no character development at all. All of a sudden, these people are together, and they pick up this teenage girl who wants to be a photojournalist, and she's completely a waste in the entire movie. But if anything, it tells you that do not trust your life to a millennial or to a, I won't say millennial because she was younger than that. Do not trust your life to a Zoomer forever, because all she managed to do throughout the entire movie was get everybody else killed. Yeah, that was it. The people with common sense, they were trying to protect her. Her doing stupid stuff and getting people killed. Great idea. There's a character for you. Hey, don't be holding your breath for that Oscar nomination, I'm telling you right now. Okay. So the premise of the movie was these journalists wanted to go from New York to Washington, D.C. to interview the president, the dictator who decided he was going to cancel all the elections and make himself president for life and into his third term. And of course, this started a civil war. The funny thing is, the writers must have never even looked at a map, because when you go from New York City to Washington, D.C., you basically have to go through Jersey, Pennsylvania, basically Philadelphia, Maryland, and you're there. But for some strange reason, these guys went, 400 or 500 miles west and decided to take a detour through West Virginia. I wonder if there was some dig on West Virginia there in the movie. Because if I'm going from New York to D.C., West Virginia's not on the map. Okay. But so they plodded along. They had to throw in the characters all of a sudden, had to have something to do with China in there, whatever. So for about 10 minutes of the movie, you have a reporter and a couple of friends who just showed up out of nowhere that happened to be from Hong Kong. who, of course, the Zoomer got killed. That was a great job of her. So finally, they make it to D.C. to go find the president. And in the midst of the chaos that is going on, gun battles, I mean, you're now an hour and 20 minutes into the movie before there's any sort of action, even though they portray this as an action movie. This was more like, I don't know, Road Trip 2, first hour and 20 minutes are, gee, this is us driving through the country, and oh, look, here's a little store we can go buy a dress. And oh, look, here's a tent camp. But so finally, in the last 20 minutes of the movie, they get into Washington, D.C., which is just a complete siege. And, gun battles and tanks and helicopters and Humvees and everything driving around, flying around, whatever it would be. Now think about that for a second. If that was going on in Washington, D.C., where would the president be? Do you think he'd be in a bunker somewhere? Probably. Not in this movie, no. After we have the helicopters that are firing lasers, there's an interesting new weapon I had no idea we had. Okay. They finally stormed the White House, and basically the president was hiding under his desk. Yeah. Okay. This movie was absolute garbage. I mean, like I said at the beginning, go watch Blue Lagoon. It's a better movie. Okay. Go watch a Test Pattern. Go watch an episode of The View. It's better. Okay. Junk. All the hype, all the trailers for this movie that made it look like it would be worthwhile. Boy, I'm sure glad I didn't go spend, I don't know, $10-15. What the hell's a movie ticket cost anymore? I haven't. The last movie I saw was 7 or 8 years ago, I think, at a theater. It was the latest Aliens movie because Mrs. P wanted to see it. The movie I saw in a theater before that one was the Bohemian Rhapsody. What I saw before that, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Okay, that's how much garbage Hollywood's putting out. This movie is a complete, utter waste of time. The only thing that it's useful for is to see how stupid people are. I mean, there was a good scene at the beginning of the movie. The power was out. Oh my, ma'am, you might not want to take the elevator, but my room is on the 10th floor. Well, you could use the stairs. And the next scene is her up there in the bathtub. And I'm going, that's interesting. Somehow they had to pump that water up 10 floors. I guess they had enough electricity to make the pumps work in the hotel, but they couldn't get the elevators to work. The continuity in this movie sucks. The story sucks. The script is worse. You listen to the music. The director tried to be a little Tarantino in it and picked the absolute most atrocious music. None of it gave you any sort of semblance. It was like you're listening to this going, this makes no sense with what's going on in the movie. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time. If you want to watch it, go find it pirated somewhere on the internet. Absolutely do not go to a movie theater and spend time on this. This Friday night, date night? No, this ain't it, okay? Go to the car wash instead. Watching the red and blue soap come down your window was more exciting than this movie. Pinball out.